Hello and welcome to Happily Committed. My name is Coach Adrian, and in this video, I am going to share with you easy ways to nurture your relationship. And let's dive straight into it. Many people don't show enough appreciation and gratitude regularly to their partner. It's very important for you to show both through your words and your actions how much you appreciate the things that this person does for you. Perhaps you feel like you appreciate it, but oftentimes something is lost in translation and the other person doesn't receive the consideration and, quite frankly, the love that they feel like they deserve because we feel like what we do is not seen, it's unheard. And that's why it is very important for you to remember to show appreciation and really to be truly grateful and to show that gratitude to the person that you love. Second, it's very important for you to be intentional about spending quality time with your significant other. I want you to be intentional about being in the present moment. I want you to commit to making certain time together technology free. Get off the smartphone. Don't be watching television. Just be together, giving them the gift of your undivided attention. And that's usually where true meaningful connections can be made. Your partner will feel seen, they will feel loved, and they will feel valued. The third important habit that I want you to nurture that will surprise you eventually as you'll see your relationship evolve and grow over time is the ability to say sorry. We really want to be accountable. When we make a mistake, we want to be able to say that we were wrong. And it's so common for me to see in coaching sessions individuals that hold to resentment for things that happened months, if not years in the past. And that resentment is built up because, quite frankly, they didn't feel seen and heard. Their pain was not acknowledged. And so, learning to give genuine, heartfelt apologies in the present moment when we realize we hurt someone is so fundamentally important. And of course, it takes a level of self awareness to know that actually we hurt our partner. And of course, it also takes a level of detachment from ego to not cling on to your side of the story. And if you're able to learn to say sorry and to develop your emotional intelligence and to detach from your ego, you will see that you're going to be able to nurture your relationship in a very, very profound way. Another fourth way to nurture healthy love and some of the habits that you need to be thinking about nurturing daily is serving together, thinking about the needs of others as a couple. The more you're able to do this consistently, the more as a unit, you're going to be able to shed ego and to overcome the disease of me and the prison of self. And unfortunately, in our culture, the ego is built up from a very young age. And we tend to see only through our eyes and how things benefit us. But that is not something that is conducive to healthy relationships. Actually, that usually tends to create resentment and to push our significant other away. It chips away at the foundation of our healthy marriage because we're more considerate about me than about us or about that person that you love. And the more you nurture this habit of thinking about the needs of others and to do so as a couple, the more selfless you're going to be, and the more your love for each other will be expressed in a very profound, powerful way. The fifth habit that I want you to nurture and to think about is really to learn to pray and meditate together. In fact, if you're able to nurture the spiritual dimension of your connection and of your union, you'll see that you'll be more patient with each other. You'll be more loving to each other. You'll be able to understand each other in a more profound way. And when I talk about nurturing that spiritual dimension, of course, I refer to developing those qualities and attitudes and behaviors that help us become beacons of light, that help empower and really show love to others. And that can be nurtured through serving others and being selfless, but also through prayer and meditation. And doing that as a couple, even if you've never prayed before, just taking a moment, sitting down, giving thanks can change everything. I know that for me, it added a completely new and profound foundation to my marriage that perhaps, you know, I would not have been able to ever experience in my lifetime if I had not had that spiritual dimension to my connection with my wife. Ultimately, the sixth habit that I want you to think about and to nurture consistently, continuously, day in and day out is really to learn to listen better. And this is what I refer to as true empathy, listening to understand, listening to go beyond what someone is telling you, to feel their emotions and to try to understand where they're coming from, instead of listening to reply, to convey our side of the story, how we feel, how we've been wronged, what we think, because that's not listening. Oftentimes that turns into arguing. And if you are serious about making your relationship even better, well, this is a habit that you're going to have to nurture. And it can be fun because you'll see that the more you learn to nurture this habit and to listen with true empathy, the more connected and close you will feel to your significant other, and the more they are likely to want to connect with you and to be with you. The seventh habit that I want you to think about and apply in your day to day is linked to fault finding. I want you to stop fault finding with your significant other. Telling your partner about their shortcomings, everything that they do wrong, those little ticks and actions on the day to day that drive you crazy is not helpful. Shedding light on their shortcomings only creates tension, resentment, and you're just constantly reminding your partner that they're not good enough. And it's hard. I do this all the time with my wife because it's a habit perhaps that I have picked up over the years. But I'm trying to do better each and every day. And I invite you to do the same. Because the more we learn to empower each other, the more we can love each other in a very profound and powerful way. And that can be a specific, really difficult if your partner has done something horrendous, if they've really hurt you, perhaps if they've been unfaithful or they put you down. Well, it's easy then to justify wanting to fault find. But the truth is that if you're committed to being happily committed, if you're committed to experiencing deeper and deeper love, that's not helpful. And we can only focus on what we can control. The eighth habit that I want you to nurture is linked to supporting what truly matters to them, right? Their goals, their aspirations, and their interests. It is important for you to support them in what matters, really truly matters to them, because that builds connection, that builds trust. And they're a lot more likely to forgive and forget and be patient and be loving because their cup will be full. We are, in essence, one being, one entity when we choose to be with someone, when we choose to marry someone that we love. And that needs to permeate in supporting them and all that they are. Finally, the ninth habit is linked to learning to forgive and learning to let go of resentment in order to build trust. The more we hold on to resentment, the more it is difficult for trust to be deeply rooted in a relationship. And this is something that is so important that I wanted to talk about it twice. Again, speaking from my own experience, not just as a coach who has worked with many people, but as a husband, I know that letting go of resentment can be really hard because we're hurt and because we're really, really, really still clinging on to this idea of how we want our partner to be and to treat us. But the reality is, to the best of our abilities, we need to accept them for who they are and learn to be loving and to be supportive, having faith that they are doing the best that they can and that they are also on a trajectory of growth. If you learn to nurture these habits, if you think about them and intentionally try to apply them in your day to day, you will see that your relationship, your marriage is going to flourish like never before. Of course, it's not easy, and I don't expect you to be perfect, but I really want you to try continuously, and you'll see the results. And I can't wait for you to come back and to let me know in the comment section how your marriage and your relationship has changed and how you're thriving. Because ultimately, this is what I want for you to be happily committed with the person that you love. I wish you all the very best and see you soon for another video to learn together how to nurture healthy love.